been much more easier for Nepal to really rotate the strike, and looks like that's been one thing that hasn't worked for Bhutan yet. So this is the end of the batting power play after the completion of 10 overs. It's 54 with the loss of 2 wickets, but I believe definitely Nepal will be the happier of the two sides. They have really picked up on the scoring in the later half of this innings. At the first part, it was looking a bit difficult for them. We saw a few wickets early on, first at the fall of 4 and the next at 17 runs. So since then, this is turning out to be a very good partnership. This is already 37 runs on the board between them, and they have faced just 33 deliveries in this partnership I'm talking about. So it's been a good work by the two batters out there in the rebuilding phase. And with that, we see the first change in the bowling. So the opening bowler for Bhutan did a good job, but now we have a right-hander coming in to bowl for the first time today. Tenzin Lode is the bowler, right arm seamer, and I believe he'll just try to have to do something different, because so far, after that initial phase, they have looked like they're still searching for that delivery. They're looking for that one good one which will just give them that wicket. And this is a good delivery, in swinging yorker from the right-hander, just closing in on that angle. Really not giving the ball any kind of pace for the batter to work with, and so far he's been happy doing that. Ball has been much slower in the air from him. He's not really flighting it, it's just pitching on good length, and he's trying to attack the stump. This time, he's just trying to pick up a gap in the field. Excellent running, and not the best of throws, so no real chance for Bhutan to pick up a wicket there. And the wicketkeeper is not really happy with that effort. But once again, Nepal really trying to maneuver the field. They're eyeing the gaps, and the placement has been absolutely spot on. This time a flighted delivery and played to long on. Fielder in the deep picks it up, and another single. So far, Sonam Wangchuk hasn't really been able to put that pressure on. He's been brought in as a change, and the two batters have looked really grown into something that has become very solid. Right now, the partnership is of 49, so almost a 50-run stand between these two batters. Shivans has looked particularly composed with 26 of 31. And that's a wide down the leg side. With that, it will be a 50 partnership between these two batters. And this has been a valuable one for Nepal. Ronak is really tickling away along nicely. He's 22, he's 23 of 26. He's looked very aggressive. But so far, both these batters have batted with a lot of maturity. They've rotated the strike and capitalized on anything that has been loose. And once again, showing the full, just an overthrow. People should have gotten that, but full use of that mistake from Bhutan. Nepal really capitalized. Sonam has tried his flighted deliveries, but he hasn't managed to pick up a wicket. He could really have tried to toss one up, maybe outside the off stump, and drawing the batter out of his crease. That could really create a stumping opportunity, or maybe a catch even at the cover region. He hasn't either attempted a quicker or a faster delivery, which was targeting the stump, and that could really trap someone like Ronak, because he's looked busy out there. So at this stage, it is not definitely about those magic deliveries, but it's about pressure and patience. And we'll have to see if either of these bowlers are able to bring back themselves into this attack and break this rhythm. Facing the right arm medium pacer could really try to angle it in, which is attempted on a few occasions, but the execution was not there. Maybe if he can draw the batter into a drive with that slight bit of seam movement and those subtle variations, can eventually make the batter play a false shot. This is good delivery from Lode, but that is what we have to appreciate. Ronak has not just looked aggressive, but on occasions he's also played the balls quite comfortably. He's defended them well as well. Short pitch delivery and cut away beautifully this time from Ronak. Stopped before reaching the boundary, but once again a very good looking shot. At this stage of the innings, it is very important to remind our viewers that Nepal, on the previous outings against Indonesia, managed to put on a mammoth total of 450 runs on the board, and they bundled out Indonesia for just 50 runs. So that really tells us that if you allow the Nepal batters to just settle in, it can really hurt you. And with those 15 overs gone, Nepal were finding themselves at 81 runs. Now with that couple moved on to 83. So the recovery has been measured and the platform is now well and truly being built. Shivans and Ronak have done an excellent job in soaking away that initial pressure and now slowly shifting the tempo. The partnership is now well past 70 and they're starting to look increasingly confident at the crease. The shot selection have been very smart. The running between the wickets are sharp and they have done well to rotate the strike regularly, just as we can see on that occasion. And they have also been able to put away those loose balls. With 8 wickets in hand, they have definitely looked like they're going towards that solid base. And maybe from here on, they can just start to look and accelerate that run rate. Good looking shot on the offside. And another couple of runs comfortably taken. So definitely it looks like this could be the phase that shapes the final total in the field, because the two batters are really quite comfortable out there. And the other day we did not see Shivansh put on a big score, but Ronak Srivastav definitely, if he stays out there, he can score big. The other day he scored 88 of 71 deliveries. He definitely plays with a very healthy strike rate as well. So a very big finish from here on. This time played on the offside and a very good stop by the fielder at cover. But look at that, once again they've taken a couple of runs quite comfortably. So it's like they never wait for even communicating between the wickets. They know that once they have played to a certain area, sometimes they calculate it quite quickly and eventually complete that couple very easily. And with that, really a shift in the momentum coming for Nepal. They've started to attack. And it's been a very good innings from Shivan. He's picked up his half century already. It's 52 that he has done so far in just 50 deliveries. So, and we're back with Tenzin loaded. Bhutan just picked up a wicket. So this is the kind of momentum that they needed to shift in their way for themselves. But you got a feel for Shivans there. That was definitely a disaster for Nepal. He was run out on 52, and this might just be a big blow for them as they were just getting ready to accelerate. And there was a little bit of a mix-up in the middle, hesitation between the wickets. But if you ask me, there never really was a run there. So I don't see Ronak was in fault, but Shivans was really excited to just go for that. Nevertheless, when he walked back, there was a well-deserved ovation from the crowd for his 54 of 52 deliveries. But Nepal, now 108 for 3, perhaps will just step back a little bit and just see how the ball is behaving. And from there on, they'll be having to once again build a little bit of a platform and then go on from there. Short pitch delivery, cut away nicely. That is stitched a good partnership between Sugam. That partnership was 72 of 61, which has really started to take the momentum towards Nepal. And right now, another partnership between Ronak Srivastav and Joy Thapa. So far, it's 15 of 16 deliveries. So he's really batting with his other teammates quite well out there. Not really given any kind of opportunity. I can't think of a loose shot from Ronak Srivastav today. He's 80 of 79. Leg spin, use of the feet, plays it down the ground, smashes it on the offside, but the field. And with that, just after the drinks break, we're back with live action. It is Kinley to continue. Starts off with the dot. With 15 overs left, looks like Nepal will definitely be eyeing a score well above 300 here. At least they'll be looking to get somewhere around the 315 runs mark. We have to wait and see how they go from here. Ronak Srivastav still out there. 87 of 89 deliveries. Almost in a rush to pick up a single there. He just needs 13 runs to pick up 100. So I think he'll be just trying to pick up on that. And once he reaches that 3-figure mark, maybe he can go after the bowling. Because we know that Ronak Srivastav definitely has that ability to clear the fence. But right now he's just trying to play a little bit safe out there. On the other hand, Kinley has started off brilliantly. He's already bowled 3-dot deliveries and really just restricting Ronak to rotate the strike. And this time he rocks back and plays that one onto the offside and clears the boundary. That is full power and excellent timing on display. For a moment I thought the fielder will be able to stop that, but this is lightning fast outfield here at the STC. So no chance really for the fielder in the deep. And with that, Ronak Srivastav has moved on to the 90s. 91 of 91 deliveries, so scoring at a strike rate of 100. Just 9 short of what will be a very well structured 100. And does well to just go off the strike. So to face the last ball of this over, Joy Thapa will be on strike. Short pitch this time. Tries to be a little bit cheeky. Going for that paddle scoop. And the execution is absolutely spot on. Well done there, young man. Joy Thapa has moved on to 21 of 25. And once again, this is turning out to be a very good partnership for Nepal. Use of the feet this time, trying to hammer it down the ground. And that is a maximum. What a shot this is from Ronak Srivastav. For a moment, we were wondering if he's going to try to play safe cricket, but looks like he's trusting his instincts. And once again, when the leg spinner is on, he's really taking charge here. Moved on to 98. Can he pick up his 100 in style? Rocks back onto that one, and this time picks up a single. He's gone on to score 99 runs now. Once again trying to scoop that, but this time the keeper misses as well as the batter. It will be a wide as well as a single. And with Ronak Srivastav on 99, I'm just waiting to see how he gets to it, because it's just one shot of his well-made 100. So let's see. Here's Sezang Zawa. And it is there. Take a bow, young man. Ronak is completed that triple figure mark. And there we have it. Raises the bat and a brilliant 100. An absolutely sensational innings. 100 of just 95 deliveries, and every single run has oozed class, composure, and character. Under pressure early, Nepal was struggling at one stage, and this young man walked in, started off aggressively. He stood tall, absorbed the 10 level. The footwork, the timing, as well as the calm head. This is what definitely a future star looks like. And this time, Joy and dispatches it down the ground for another boundary. So turning out to be a very expensive over for Bhutan, and definitely Nepal is on the charge here. Kinley definitely has his work cut off here. This is turning out to be a very good partnership once again for Nepal. And we have that man, Ronak Srivastav on strike. He just scored 100, and the crowd knows it. His teammates know it, that as long as he stays out there, the runs will keep coming thick and fast for Nepal. And once again, we definitely have to say that the way he's played the ball, especially through that offside today, he's looked like he's a future Nepal star, and he's definitely announced himself on the big stage. Look at that shot, inside out once again. That has been a shot of absolute class, and this is perhaps the third occasion when he's played that shot and has picked up a boundary. What a shot from Ronak Srivastav.
Support us for our sports foundation.
Definitely not the easiest shot that can be played on the offside, but he looks like he has that extra second whenever he plays that shot. He's got fast reaction times, and it looks like he's observing the field quite nicely. He's eyeing the gaps, and he's also picked up boundaries on regular intervals. A good delivery, excellent running this time. A good call from Joy Thapa. For a moment, Ronak was looking for the ball, but Joy Thapa knew that the keeper has not collected that. So beautiful running. Like definitely a warrior, from the rescue mission to an absolute rampage. Here's the last over with that man on strike. Short pitch, this time in control, plays that on the leg side, and he'll now hand it over to Joy Thapa, who's also looked as cool as ever. He's anchored with him brilliantly. He's 60 of 66, and together they've built a partnership that's not just match defining, it's definitely been tournament defining. although we can say that Nepal have qualified, but it is something that we can definitely appreciate. This has been a standout batting effort. This time trying to play that over the top of the cover fielder. Long off picks that up, another single. Sanjay Dorji will not be too unhappy if he just concedes singles in this over. On the other hand, definitely one big shot is somewhere around the corner. I can assure you the crowd in Nepal is definitely roaring. With 1 over to go, with just 4 deliveries to go rather, can they go past 350? Pulled away nicely with a lot of authority, and looks like that has gone way over the fence. Another maximum, and that is your answer, dear viewers. It's 350 on the board, and the 6 comes off none other than Ronak Srivastav. What a performance this has been. He's moved on to 168 now. He's not looking to slow down. And absolutely launches it. This is once again quite high, and it is finally taken. The intention was to go about it more, and finally this man has to go back now. It was right there, it was in the slot, he went after it, it was long and high, and this time finally the wicket falls. It's too late, if you ask me. He's done his job. 168 runs of 132, and finally some reward for Sanjay Dorji. He's bowled well today. He was not supported by the other bowlers of Bhutan, but what an innings of absolute masterclass from Ronak Srivastav. 168 runs. This is one for the ages. I think the tournament will be remembered for this innings from Ronak Srivastav, and definitely full credit to Nepal for grooming such a cricketer, and really thanks to the Asia Cricket Council for providing such a platform for this kind of players to flourish and really showcase their talent. So with that, we have 2 more deliveries remaining. We'll have to wait and see how they finish from here. They've already gotten 350, so they have reached that psychological mark where they wanted to be. Short pitched again, once again pulled away. This time the fielder was called inside the circle, and I think that is why it will be a tough chase on. It's well stopped, but not before another couple of runs. Sachin Balla is the man on strike to face the last ball from Sanjay Dorji. And here we go. Last ball of this innings. Also short pitch, dispatched, smashed on the leg side. And I think that has gone all over the fence. What a finish from Sachin Balla. And with that, 358 runs on the board. You can tell from the body language of the defensive strokes, it's better to just get a catching fielder in, especially in that short mid-wicket or short cover area. And this is nicely played through the cover. Chase is on, and a good work in the field. Couple of runs taken. You can see that the fast bowler from Nepal, Suyog, is really running in. He's bowling a lot of pace, but so far he's not really been able to quite get a good carry to the keeper. You can see that the slip is taken off, the second slip, and he's moving towards cover. So I think the intention of Suyog will be to take the ball away from the right-hander, but we have to wait and watch if that's the right approach. This time, hint of movement. It's deviating down the leg side, so that's been given as a wide. Abhay Yadav steaming in, and that is well played, we have to say. Played with soft hands, and we know that two slip fielders are in play, but when the batter is ready for those kind of deliveries and when they're not going hard at it, sometimes the edge does not really travel to the slip cordon, and that is what exactly has happened. 4 overs completed, it's 16 without loss, and Bhutan will feel very comfortable out there. We're not seeing any kind of change so far in this innings. So far, the fast bowlers have continued. It is a mix between the right arm and the left arm seamer. Suyog, the left armer, is back into the attack. His first 2 overs went for 9 runs, and Abhay Yadav 2 overs going for 6. That's much better. That's well bowled. This is the kind of bowling that you expect from Nepal, especially with a new ball in hand. And that's really one of the few deliveries when we saw that ball was swearing up after pitching. And a good take by the wicketkeeper. Kelsen is 7 of 14 and Jigme 3 of 11. And they're not too bothered about the run rate at this stage. They want to bat through the power play and they don't want to lose any kind of wicket. Fuller delivery, played nicely, but he's not really willing to pierce the gap in the field and maybe hit a boundary. Just want to negotiate the ball and play it towards the fielder and just survive at the crease. So that's another sort of intent that we sometimes talk about that the Bhutan players don't really come up with. They're willing to spend a lot of time at the crease, not concerned about the chase. Suyog will be a little bit upset because the batter decided to just pull back at the very last moment. Never easy for a fast bowler who's running in with a lot of momentum to just stop midway before delivering. But I believe that something was bothering Ilzang. And here he is. 4 more deliveries remaining in this over. Here's the third. That's well bowled, but another defensive stroke at that, with full face open. As you can see in the replay, Suyog was coming round the wicket, trying to close in on that angle, and you can see that he invited that drive. A good-looking chance created at the slip cordon and well taken eventually. So it's Jigme who has to go back. He has scored 5 of 25. Now Sonam Wangchuk has walked out to the middle, but Nepal finally has a breakthrough. and the new batter is ready. Here comes Suyog. Similar sort of delivery, rocks back and defends that one. So finally, the breakthrough Nepal were so desperately looking for. Jigme is the batter who has fallen short, and it was off the delivery of Suyog. He's been probing since the morning. He was bowling a bit here and there, but later he adjusted nicely at the later part of his spell, and then he just invited that one poke from Jigme outside the off stump, thickish edge, and a good peck by the slip fielder. It was getting a little too quiet for Nepal, and Bhutan were finding themselves in a lot of comfort, but this wicket might just wake them up. The fielders are suddenly a bit more active, and with a fast bowler that is pumped, momentum can finally begin to shift. Sonam has joined Kelsang at the crease with the score of 21 for 1 at the board, and this is really the perfect chance for Nepal to build on the pressure and hunting for another one. The right arm seamer continues, and so far we have observed one thing from the moment Sonam Wangchu has walked out to the middle. He is sometimes just trying to go towards the leg side and just creating a little bit of a room for himself. So when that happens, sometimes when the ball is pitched fuller outside the off stump, sometimes there can be a loss of control, especially with the drives, and maybe this bowler can just try to pick up a wicket from here, but finishes off with a dot. 9 overs completed. It's 21 with the loss of 1. And the skipper finally decides to make some changes, and he brings himself into the attack. So for the first time today, after a fall of a wicket, I think this is a very good decision. Finally introduce spin, and the left-arm spin of Bipin will not make things very easy for the two batters out there. So Wangchuk and Kelzang will definitely be up against some quality, and this is the time when I believe that Bipin should really start attacking. He should not allow any kind of single for these two batters. They're not really trying to go after the bowling, so you can afford to bring your fielders inside and try and attack the stump. And that's well done. That is very well done. And it's given. This is exactly what I was talking about. That Bipin Sharma is really the man with the golden up. He's done a very good job with the ball in hand. And the captain strikes in his very first over. Straightforward decision, really, for the umpire. And it was a nice, good appeal. Sense of calmness whenever he comes out in the crease. And straight away, he picks up the wicket of the other opener. Kelzang looked good for his 10, but now he has to walk out back to the pavilion, and as they often say, one brings two, and with that, it's 21 for 2 now after the completion of 9.2 overs, and a brilliant start for Bipin Prasad. And the new batter has walked in. So definitely we were wondering about it, and the skipper of Nepal does the right thing. He brings himself into the attack, and that one just skids on. And Elzang was left on his back foot. Really did not get the front footing. And another chance. This is what we were wondering, that he really should be attacking with his fielders, because it is not easy to play left arm spin in this pitch. It is not easy to play any kind of spin, rather, if the spinners bowl in the right areas and at the right pace. Almost picked up another one, and that's how good Bipin Prasad has been so far this spell already. Straight away after coming, he's already created a couple of opportunities. The fielder should really start coming in. And almost, is that another wicket? And looks like it. Yes, he has. He's picked up another one. Bipin Prasad, so just picking up from his last game, already has picked up a couple of wickets, and it was a very quiet celebration. I think it was the ball hitting the stump. So yes, definitely another wicket has fallen, and Pelin Lode, who just walked out to the middle, has been cleaned up by Bipin Prasad. He's already picked up two, and right now looks like after that initial resilience, they've already been put on the back foot by Nepal, and Nepal should not really take this middle order batting very lightly, because we know that they can play some solid cricket out there. We've seen that before. But so far, full marks to Bipin Prasad to just realize that the change is required, and the introduction of spin is really turning the table for Nepal here. And Bipin is continuing with two slips. A delivery, 2 in 2 for Bipin. Strike straight away. No chance for the new batter out there to really just have a look at the pitch. And this is some sensational start with the ball in hand of Bipin. What a man this man is. And he's cleaned up the captain of Bhutan. Karma has to go back. He's a solid batter, we know. But the moment he walked out to the middle, he is greeted. Absolute peach of a delivery. One created that angle, and absolutely no chance. He's in disbelief of what has happened. But young man, you have to go back. What a stop! Bipin Prasad picked up three straight up. He's broken the practice, and Bhutan find themselves in a big spot of bother. 10 overs completed, one with the loss. But now things are looking very difficult. We've often seen Bhutan really just going inside a shell and not trying to score anything if that's what is required. Another dot ball. Flighted delivery and trying to play that on the offside. If I am the captain of Nepal, definitely I'm bringing in that short cover and a short mid wicket. It doesn't matter if they get a few runs, but there's really an opportunity to pick up a few wickets here, because the batters have looked tentative. 13 overs completed, 24 runs with a loss of 4, and so far we're seeing that picture, that similar approach from Bhutan, that after a loss of a few wickets, they start playing very defensively. And the very dangerous Bipin to continue. I wonder when he starts to feel like he can bring in a few fielders closing inside, because so far it's not been easy to play the spin of these two spinners. We were talking about it, and so far that is exactly what has happened. We've been trying to do something different here. And that's close, that is close, but umpire is not in favor. perhaps just deviating down the leg side. So suddenly another chance almost presented itself. Sonam is yet to get off the mark, and also Kencho, but they're not really concerned about that. Almost picked up a wicket there, really. Rash looking shot, and that was the googly. So went right through the defense, and that has led to the departure of Kencho. So Bhutan find themselves halfway lost at this chase. Half of the side is back at the pavilion, and from here on, we'll have to see how Nepal can really try to just go about this innings, because this will be a bowling practice for them. They have already qualified, and in this match, if they can really find some bowlers who can pick up wickets when the batters are not really allowing them to, that will help them really progress into the final and the semi-final with a better mindset. With that, we have to say that Sachin Balla bowled a very good delivery. It was difficult to pick his googly from the usual leg spinner that he was bowling in his first over. And we have to see how the batters try to go through his overs. Leg spinners really have a tendency to pick up wickets from nowhere. And we see a leg slip in alongside two traditional slip fielders. But I'm still wondering why they can't just bring in a short mid wicket and a short cover. Here's the third delivery. This time does well. I think it was another googly. So the batters now will be mindful that this bowler is not just taking the ball away from the right hander, but occasionally he can bring it in as well. Suzang Dawa, he was very expensive with the ball in hand today. And going after wild shot here. Done. Two more deliveries remaining in this over. Maybe, just maybe, bowl that top spinner from somewhere and try to go through the defense. Rocks back on the back foot and plays with soft hand, another dot ball. Last ball of this over coming in. So far, Sachin Balla is yet to concede a run as well. Oh, what an effort. Full marks for effort there for Sachin Balla. Off his own bowling, jumped up in the air and tried to catch that. Finishes off with a dot. It's 17 with the loss of 5 for Bhutan. They scored 24 runs. Pipin to continue. And will that be the first run? Not really. Pipin yet to concede a single run in his spell so far. But once again, we're seeing that the fielders are not attacking. He's called in the second slip now. And that is well bowled. Couple of dot deliveries to begin. So he's picked up those 3 wickets in his very first over, and since then he's not conceded any runs, and neither has he picked up any more wickets. He'll be eyeing his fifer again, and if he does that, it will be 2 on the dot. I'm still wondering, if the batters are defensive in that kind of fashion, why can't they just bring in a few catchers? Is that very late, and this time close. That should be an appeal. We have to wait for the decision. Yes, he's safe. So with that, Bipin Prasad concedes his first run. So far, it was looking absolutely magical. He was not going for any. Now that he's gone for a run, maybe he'll start feeling more competitive and maybe try to pick up a wicket. It's that man Sonam Wangchuk who's off the mark. He scored 1 of 27 deliveries. Now Bipin Prasad has a chance to bowl at Shizang Dawa. Shizang Dawa, the leg spinner, was expensive when it was his turn with the ball in hand. Now he's here facing Bipin. And just trying to work through his defense. About to finish. It's 18 overs completed, 25 with a loss of 5. Leg spin to continue. Starts off with a good delivery. He's bowling to Sonam. Sonam Wanchuk. Sonam Wanchuk is not really trying to do absolutely anything. He's just going and defending at about everything. Just going down the leg side. That was a good ball. And he's trying to exploit some flaw in his defense. But so far, full marks for the defensive cricket. If Bhutan wants to forget that they have a chase in mind. And this is close. This is definitely close. Huge appeal. And umpire not in favor. Quite an interesting decision. For a moment, I thought that it might just be given in favor of the bowler. Strong appeal. But a very good delivery, nevertheless. Sonam Wanchuk is trying to just hold on to one end. Once again, well bowled, just playing at the very last moment. Two more deliveries remaining from Sachin Balla. Beautifully done once again. Okay, Sonam on strike. Just outside this off stump and another defensive stroke. 19 overs completed, 25 with a loss of 5. And with that, it looks like the players are having a drinks. So we'll take a short break and come back with live action. live action after that drinks break, and looks like it will be the captain of Nepal to continue with the ball in hand, Bipin. Sonam Wangchuk is out there. He's faced 1 of 33, and Chazeng Jawa is yet to get off the mark. He's faced 6 deliveries. All nice played in the air with that one, and good running between the wickets. So a little bit of intent finally on display from the batters. Bipin will not be happy considering that he was bowling well and he thought that the momentum is truly with him. But suddenly we see a shot from Chetang Dawa. 2 of 7 now. Trying to follow him, but in the end defends it nicely. Sighted delivery and just over the top of the bowler's head. Another dot ball.